what I like to think of as schema principle number one. Now, the reason that it's probably okay for me to be provocateur and standing up here and talking to you about sort of these very loosely knit systems is because Freebase itself, well, it's somewhat formal, is actually quite different than, say, like the way you build up RDFS, RDF schemas or OWL ontologies. The idea that we actually have these types and properties or attributes are defined on the types causes us to sort of think about the world in a slightly different way. So when I talk about schema here, I'm talking about Freebase schema, and I think it actually applies. It turns out that when I model things in RDFS, I tend to sort of carry some of this baggage over, and I don't know that it's actually a bad thing, though it does make me an odd person to talk to at times. And that is that we like to use types very liberally. And that is, we use a couple of these few very large types that are very encompassing, and the idea is that, you know, this provides some general information. It says this person is an actor. And then we have some smaller fine-grained types to provide much more detailed information. You know, in fact, this person is an actor, and he's also a member of a bunch of other much larger categories, but he's also an honorary degree recipient, and that he has, you know, a couple of other sort of interesting things in terms of being a restaurateur, and it gets sort of to the fine-grain categories that Arnold would be added to. And this is actually the principle behind the Freebase Commons, and so we think of our schema as being a form of vocabulary, and Freebase Commons is sort of this general area where you find sort of these big bucket types with a bunch of attributes that describe them so that you can sort of get the core idea behind an entity